All right. Let's have it.
So what's your reaction to the latest news on Sheldon?
No, it's disappointing. You know, if it happens 2 times in that kind of time span, you more about Sheldon the man as opposed to Sheldon the player. You know, that's the biggest thing. But you have children, you know, if you say things and they're going to disappoint you, you got to come back. Right now, I'm just worried about getting him the help that he needs the help. I'm not even worried about the football player. You know, like I said, we can win without him. Probably be more fun with him, but we're prepared to win without him. And the biggest thing is working on getting him better as a person. You know, when things like that happen, you don't try to help the guy. It's not when he's getting back on the field. It's can he get his life together? And that's the biggest thing we're worried about.
Did he tell you why he didn't disclose information to the organization?
No, he didn't tell me why. We talked about what happened, but he didn't tell me why, and you know that's something he has to deal with. And obviously, there's a problem there, and we got to try to help him.
Were you angry, Todd, that he did not disclose that information?
I found out about an hour after I did interviews yesterday.
And did it upset you that he hadn't told you?
I mean, it surprised me. It's upsetting because it's disappointing that it's back-to-back, and he has to live with that, and there's no way around that. You can't defend that, and I'm not trying to. I just hope he gets better and understand as a person, and I'm more worried about the man than I am the player.
Can you intend to discipline him at all?
Yeah, does the team plan to discipline?
We're going to wait and see how it plays out. Obviously, the league will be involved in that, and you know, Missouri Police Department will be involved in that, and then we'll wait to see what our actions are after that.
Do you expect that from the league? Do you expect that from the league? He will probably receive an extra suspension.
I have no idea at this point. We're going to let it play out, and then we'll probably go from there.
How do you trust a guy like that? It's one thing to get into trouble, but then to purposely conceal that.
You lose a lot of trust. Like I said, actions speak louder than words, and as a man, you have to own up to what you've done, and not only own up to it, but you have to show change through actions. You're not going to believe nothing you say in that regard. Just like your children, you're going to be disappointed, and over time, you got to show progress, and great progress. You're not just going to take nobody's word for it anymore, and he has to face his teammates, he has to face his coaching staff, he has to face his family. And from that regard, you got to try to get better as a person.
Did you address this with him directly?
We addressed it with him. We talked to the team, and we had a good conversation.
What was his message to you about what happened, and if you offered any explanation about it?
No, he pretty much heard what happened is what he offered what happened, and you know, there's not 10 different stories around it. You know, the report is what it is, and you just got to deal with it.
Todd, do you have any concern that he might fail another drug test?
I have concerns about him just being a better person. You know, if he fails another drug test, you're going down the wrong road, and those are demons you have to live with. And sometimes things spark and make you a better person, and sometimes you spiral the other way. Again, I'm not worried about him failing to get back on the field. I'm worried about him failing or passing, becoming a better man, and that's the biggest thing here. Him becoming a better person so that he can live the rest of his life at 24, 25 years old. That's tough. I'm sure we all got away with some things, and he's not gotten away with them. It hasn't been smart. It hasn't been clear in the head, and clearly, you know, he needs some help, and you got to try to help somebody like that as a person. And like I said before, we're prepared to win without him. It'd be more fun with him, but with one person cannot make our team.
Would you give any thought today, maybe just sitting him out of practice, just maybe to give him some time to maybe think about what he's done?
No, I mean, he's had time to think about what he's done. It's been a while since it's come out yesterday. It's been a while since it happened. So, no, right now it's best for him to stay normal and stay around things that he does so you can keep a better eye on him.
What do you do to help him? How can you help him?
You try to reach him. I mean, you try to reach him like you try to reach your children, and you understand the realities of a situation, and you try to see where he goes wrong. I'm sure he has great family support, but you can only help a person if they want to be helped. You know, you can only help a person if they want to be helped. You can take them down the road and give them all the advice you want. The first part is them reaching out and wanting the help and accepting the help, and you know, that's the thing you got to try to deal with. You don't give up trying to help anybody be a better person. You don't worry about the football stuff because the police department and the league, whatever disciplinary actions that come down, take care of themselves. You're not worried about the legal part of it or getting them on the field or saying when is he ready to play. We're just worrying about helping the guy become a better man.
Todd, were you kind of floored that this would happen so closely after you just dealt with your drug test and the suspension, that 2 weeks later you would get in trouble again?
You're not floored. I mean, things are going to happen in this league every day, and you see it on the news all the time. You're a little disappointed, and you come to grips with it, and you deal with it, and you move on.
Did you get this to you that he's dealing with anything personally in any way?
I did not get that feeling, no.
Did you get the sense from him that he alluded to people needing to want to be helped? Did you get the sense from him that he wants to be helped, that there was a lot of contrition yesterday? What sort of sense did you get from him when you talked to him?
No, all you can do is listen to him. You don't get a sense, because getting a sense means that you actually believe him and there's hope there, but you got to wait till days, even weeks, even months pass by, and for him to make a change for the better and accepting the help and see change. So at this stage of the game, after 2 disappointments in a row, you got to go through actions, and you got to try to help him, and we got to go from there and try to help him become a better guy.
Did you talk to him last night or this morning when you sat down?
We talked yesterday.
Do you think he'll play again for you this year?
I have no idea. We'll let the legal action take care of itself, and I'll probably be better able to answer that in a couple weeks or a couple months, whenever they make that decision.
Sheldon, yesterday when we spoke to him, he said, I told my teammates, you won't see my name in the news again. Do you have any idea what was going through his mind when he said that, knowing that he knew what had happened?
Well, I guess clearly he was wrong. Sometimes it's hard for a person that does everything on their own to ask for help, and in his mind, obviously, it was denial, and clearly he has a problem, and that's what we got to try to help him with. It was wrong, and it was embarrassing for him to say that and then it to happen. I guess the timing of it all, it wouldn't have been any more embarrassing had he said something and it came out. So, right now, it is what it is as far as what happened, and it's not going to change anything, and nobody condones it, and nobody tolerates it. And it's up to the guy. Clearly, right now, this is not a football issue. It's more of a personal issue.
Todd, you said you didn't ask him why he concealed it. He didn't volunteer why he concealed it from the team?
Not really. He explained what happened, and sometimes, people can't put things into words the right way. So hopefully over the course of the next couple of days, a couple of things become more clear, and we try to sit down and reach each other and move forward from there.
Have you heard from the league yet?
Not yet, no.
Was he upset when you guys spoke? What was his sort of mood?
He was remorseful. I mean, it's hard to say a guy's a good guy when 2 things like this happen, but he's a good guy. But good guys don't always do the right things. And he's a young man, and you don't get too many chances to turn your life around. And right now, he's going down a spiraling road, and he understands, or he needs to understand, that he needs to turn his life around. And this has nothing to do with football.
You keep alluding to a problem. In your mind, what is the problem? What is the root of the problem?
I wish I knew that answer right now, but, after 2 things just happening, and if I spent a lot of time around Sheldon and me just getting here and understanding him and spent the summer with him, I'll probably have a better feel as the days go on. Hopefully I will get a better feel, but I'm here for him. The team's here for him, and we're not here for him in a football way. We're here for him in a sensible way to see if we can get him on the right, straight and narrow.
Do you have a early report on Devin Smith? He looks like he got whacked in the back of the head or in the neck or something.
Not yet. I'm going to go inside and see what happened. I saw him walking gingerly coming off, so I have to go inside and check on it.
Todd, from your perspective, how much does this jeopardize Sheldon's future with this organization? He's under contract with you guys after this year, but how much does the lack of trust, as you alluded to, jeopardize how much you could see him being part of this going forward?
Well, that's up to him. That all depends on the next couple weeks, months, and days go by, and whether he gets the message and how it turns his life around. We're here for him, and we're trying to help him out, and again, the discipline is going to be the discipline by Missouri police or the NFL league or whatever has to happen. So me and Sheldon and the rest of the team all understand that part, and going forward, only time will tell and see if he can change his life around.
Are you guys putting the pads on tomorrow?
Yes.
How much do you look forward to that? You've referenced a lot of times there's been 2-hand touch since the spring.
I think it's more realistic tomorrow. You can't really jam the receivers, and the D-line is running free. The O-line can't get really good hands on them in that regard. So putting pads on tomorrow is more of a wake-up call, and we'll see who shows up.
Anything particular you liked or didn't like in today's practice?
No, I thought we worked better today, not trying to hurt each other, as opposed to yesterday being more gun-ho, just being out there. So, overall, I thought the practice was crisp. Obviously, there's mistakes on both sides of the ball, but, generally they operated in a good way.
You have a lot of receivers on the roster right now. How do you feel about that group overall?
I think there's a lot of competition. I think there's a lot of guys that can run. And again, when the pads come on tomorrow and they got to block and they got to catch and they got to run through things and do some things that they're required to do out of pads, then it kind of that'll work itself out.
Coach, how do you like the way Gilchrist is coming along? Obviously taking part in team reps now.
He had a good 2 days, you know. He had the shoulder, and you know when we put the pads on, he's one of the guys that's going to have to hit and see how that shoulder is. So 2 days of running around in shorts was good for him. It was good to see him out there, but pads come on tomorrow.
What do you like about his skill set?
He's highly intelligent, you know. He's like a coach on the field. He runs everything. He understands. He communicates to guys very well as he can play nickel and cover some people. So his versatility is very good.
Regarding your 3 guys on the pup list, how long do you expect each of those 3 to remain?
I think Willie looked good coming around. Hopefully we can get him in pads in the next day or two. You know, that will be the goal. Richardson still nursing the injury, and Ridley day by day or week by week, depending on how it feels.
Do you see it as Winters, Quale, and Cologne fighting for that right guard spot? Is that 3?
Out of pads, I don't see anything. I can tell you probably toward the end of next week, once I see people do some things.
Why did practice end with you had a minute left on the clock, on the game clock there? Why did you stop suddenly in the middle of that drill?
Well, all they needed was a field goal, and they didn't have any timeouts. And initially, they only had to get 5 yards, but they got sacked, and it moved them back. And then they caught the pass to put them in field goal range. They couldn't spike it, and we already practiced kicks earlier, so it kind of ended right there.
People talk about going away for camp, kind of the bonding, the team bonding experience. How do you duplicate the team bonding when you're here?
I mean, they're in hotel and meetings all day. It's not like you can go anywhere. So the bonding comes from the meetings and being on the field and around each other all the time, whether you're secluded or whether you're at home. I've done it both ways. I mean, the bonding comes from the guys more than the place.
Do you have any veteran exceptions, or does everyone have to stay in the hotel
Everyone's in the hotel
throughout the duration of camp?
throughout the duration of camp.
Are you in the hotel?
I am in the hotel.
Until the end of August? You know, so there's like
Until toward the end of August. I think we break somewhere around 21st, 22nd. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, everybody's in the hotel till then.
Coach, have you liked what you've seen from
It's good. It's coming along pretty good. You know, 3 weeks. You know, they got me walking. John Melody does a heck of a job, hurting me every morning, so I'm doing pretty good.
Coach, have you liked what you've seen from Dexter?
He showed up. You know, he's a little ginger in the spring. He's running around pretty good tomorrow. At least he's on the radar right now. So we put the pads on. He's got to continue that.
Todd, do you have any updates on Milner's status?
He ran around very well today. You know, if he's feeling good today, we'll start working him in the team drills tomorrow and Sunday.
Todd, when you're dealing with this entire situation with Sheldon, it's the first time you're going through something like this as a head coach. Is there, can you draw on your experience from previously, or is it sort of a whole new thing?
I don't know. I've been through it. I mean, we had Darryl Washington in Arizona. You know, he was suspended 4 games and suspended last year. And there are things that come up every day at this job as a head coach that you're going to see every day. So you're learning all the time. So you just deal with it. You can't let one guy deter you from all the other guys. But at the same time, you want to try to help the guy as a person without deterring from the guys on the team. And you deal with it. You see it. You get pissed off, and you move on.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yeah. Thanks.